As I prepared to figure out how I was going to introduce our Mission Fest speaker for this morning, I could just start off by saying a friend of mine and the entire hospice staff are friends of mine. But I looked at it and I thought, well, I want to explain a little bit about the spiritual side of hospice before I even turn it over to Vicki. And she may already cover that. I don't mean to steal that from her in any way. But oftentimes when I was asked 3 years ago, I had received a telephone call and asking about prayerfully considering being the hospice chaplain. I went to God, and God brought me to this scripture passage. And so I wanted to share that with you as to what hospice is and how it's connected in missions. Hear these words of Jesus Christ in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 25, beginning at the 31st verse. And he says, "When the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, he will sit on his throne in heavenly glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, 'Come, you who are blessed by my Father. Take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me.' Then the righteous will answer him, 'Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you?' The king will reply, 'I tell you the truth, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did also for me.'" Hospice has the great privilege and the great honor of not only caring for an individual in their time of sickness, but also to care for the family, to care for them, to give them dignity as such. And it is with great honor and privilege that I'm going to introduce my friend, Vicki, who is the RN Hospice Director for Sakakawea Hospice. And that's a mouthful, but it is such a pleasure. Please give her a round of applause as I invite Vicki to please come forward at this time to share what God has said about her.
I just wanted to start by thanking you for allowing me to come and speak about our program and share that with you just a little bit. It has touched many people in this community, and if it hasn't touched you directly, it might one day, which we hope not. But I just want to thank you for your support, not only financially for our program. It helps us provide care to not only our patients, but their families also, and also for sharing your pastor with us. Working with Pastor Sapp over this last year, sometimes when we speak to our families and say, we're going to bring in a pastor to help you with some of the areas that you might be going through, it's kind of scary for a lot of our families. But very frequently afterwards, as you guys all can imagine, they always are asking for Pastor Sapp to come back. And not only does he pastor to our families, he pastors to us staff as well. There's days that it's tough doing our job, but we always have someone we can turn to for support. And we really, truly appreciate you sharing him with us. So what is hospice? Hospice is a program that focuses on care and comfort for people who are terminally ill, and as Medicare benefit says, has a prognosis of less than 6 months to live. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that our patients can only live 6 months or can only have our program for 6 months. We'll continue providing care for our patients until we end, and then we will continue to take care of their families for the next 13 months following the program. When we look at our program, we don't just look at the patient, we look at the family that goes along with the patient. They're all one unit of care. And our focus is not just on the medical and physical side of our patients, but also on our emotional, our social, and our spiritual. There are many things we as nurses can do and physicians out there that can help with symptoms or side effects or anything like that, but we can't do everything if the spiritual end is not taken care of also. So that is one thing that is truly unique to our program. It's not just medical. It's actually about maximizing our patients' and families' lives to what the best that it can be for the prognosis and the diagnosis that they have. We like to share with our families, because it's a very difficult decision to make, that it's not about giving up on our loved ones, it's about honoring them and saying no to the tests, the lab draws, the x-rays that aren't helping the situation. They're just causing more pain and agony to our patients. So our goal is to just symptom manage and help. Actually, hospice was only brought to the United States in 1963. It was first introduced then by Madame Cicely was her name. She had a passion to work with people who were terminally ill. When we're looking after a loved one, she found out there's not the care for terminally ill patients. We have all this care out there for the birth of a baby, a lady who is pregnant, and all that stuff. But we have nothing for the people that are leaving our world and going to the place we all hope to go to one day. So that is kind of how it all began. She had that passion to find better ways to treat the symptoms and to bring it to everybody, for everybody. So our program provides not just for one specific person. We provide for all ages, from infant to adult. And then we also don't discriminate against religion, or against color, or any type of thing. We treat everybody as one. And soon, when it first started in 1996, Medicare decided hospice could be a benefit that they would honor for our patients. And soon after Medicare acknowledged that there was a need for this care in our country, most private insurances realized that it's not just for the elderly, it's for the young too, and have brought it, and most now private insurances also cover a portion of your hospice care. So, each of our patients, when they come on to care with us, we have what we call a team, and our team consists of physicians, nurses, social workers, a bereavement volunteer coordinator. We have a pharmacist that works with us, and we also have, of course, our chaplain. Our groups meet every 2 weeks to discuss our patients' care. Our families, of course, are included in this. They are welcomed every week if they would like to come and visit. At these meetings, we not only discuss the medical, but also the spiritual, the social, the emotional, everything the family may be going through. And we look for ways at these meetings to help treat and to help prevent and to help these families work through all the emotions that they may be going through. We travel to our patients' homes. Now, not everybody calls home a house on a street with neighbors. Some people consider their home a nursing home or a basic living facility, and some people even call the hospital their home at the moment being. We travel to their home where they call home to provide that extra level of care and comfort. We provide nurses 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year on call to be for our families for any concerns or crises or questions. We're there for them. We carry a phone on our side and sleep with it beside our bed. And we always feel horrible when patients say, oh, I didn't want to wake you. No, wake us, because we can help. Not only even at the shortest of moments, I've called Pastor Sack when he's finished church and he has come for our patients at the hospital. And we really, truly appreciate that, and our families really need that. We provide all their medical necessary equipment that they may need so that they can stay and remain in their homes to be taken care of, to be at a place where they would like to be. We work towards the family and the patient's goals, not our goals. It doesn't matter what we feel is a goal, it's our family's goals. At this time, we also want to say that we like to spend time with our families. We like to sit down, we like to visit with them. We like to work through the problems, the concerns. Some families, some caregivers, spouses, children, they have a lot of feelings they're experiencing and they don't know how to let them out. They sometimes just need someone to listen to, and they're afraid to talk to their other family members because they don't want to make them feel worse or sad at the time. So a lot of our time is spent working with our families and sitting with them and spending that time. They actually become our families, is what we kind of feel. I always get asked, how can you do hospice care? How can you go into these situations and not cry? Well, I do cry. I cry like everybody else, and every one of our staffs do too. As we get to know our families and work with our patients, they become our families in our hearts. And I look at it this way, and I just try to tell people that if I can make a difference, whether it's sitting and listening, whether it's finding a medication that works for a patient, or just holding a hand or giving a hug, it makes a difference. And as long as I can make one little difference, it's been all worth it. They've also taught me in my life that things that I used to think that were more important. Did I have a special outfit for this day? Are not important. It's the times we take with our family, the time we take with our loved ones, and each one of our patients since I've started with Secaucus Hospice has taught me a little bit something. And I think it has made my family grow closer as a family to know that we don't know what tomorrow brings. So let's stop and enjoy what we have today and love what we have today. Smell the roses, enjoy the sun, enjoy the wind that we get here in North Dakota. So we do a ton of educating in our thing. Not only do we help educate patients and families on what to expect, what to see, what they're seeing is normal, and how to help, but we also find that the families teach us. They teach us what love is. They teach us what families are. It's amazing, the family support and the faith system that we see in our patients, the love they have for their families and for God. It literally gives me goosebumps when I sit beside some patients' beds near the end of their life. Through our program, we're able to offer 2 little extra services for our families through the support of people like you guys. We're able to have a little treasured moments program where some of our patients would like to leave little blessings and talk and leave a little message or a story or a few words to their loved ones. We have recorders that they can leave those messages for their loved ones, and then we take care of it and we provide copies of this for their family so that they have a little something to keep with them forever. We also have had a few patients in the past who they just have one wish to go to see the lake again, to go fishing one last time, or get out to the family farm, because that's been their life. That's where they've been, that's where they've grown up. And they just want to see it one more time, and they're unable to. And we try with all our power to make those wishes come true and help those people make those last wishes come true. So it's about living. It's about comfort, it's about care, and it's about the whole person, not just medical. We do yearly offer a grief support group for our community. You do not have to have been on our services to receive this grief support group. Our licensed social worker once a year offers a group. So if anybody you know is struggling with the loss of a loved one, a friend, or anybody special to them, you can always call our office at any time and we can get you information for that grief support that's free for you to attend. Our program started in 1996, and we offer support not only in Beulah, but in Hazen, all of Mercer County, and parts of Dunn, and Oliver counties. So we travel quite a few miles to provide care to people where they call home. We currently have 54 volunteers that are active, that help in our program. They assist families with just sitting with loved ones so they can run errands, or for the family member who's really tired from being up all night with their loved one, helping take care of them. They'll sit there, hold a hand, read scripts from the Bible, say prayers with them so that their loved one can take a rest and nap. They also help us with our fundraising, and they also help us with some basic office clerical work. All of them say it's a rewarding experience. You just don't understand until you've done. And since we have such a wonderful, local, supportive community, we are able to make sure that our families are not saddled with huge medical bills when they end up after their loved one has passed away. We're able to cover the co-pays for all the medications and cover all that care and not charge them a penny. So that is a big goal for a lot of our families who are fixed incomes with Medicare and stuff. Our patient, like I said before, our patients really drive our plan of care. Our care is really focused on what our patients need. We come in and add that extra layer of support for our families. And then we continue to follow our families for 13 months after the death of their loved one. We don't just all evacuate and leave them alone. We like to make sure they make it through that first Christmas without mom or dad, the first anniversary, the first birthdays, and give them the support that they need to continue and to help them work through all the feelings and the emotions they are having. And again, I just want to say thank you for allowing us to come and visit with you. And if you have any questions regarding hospice or you have wanting any information, our doors are always open at our office. We're just a phone call away. Our referrals come not only from physicians in the area, they also come from friends, family, and knowledge of people who may need our services. A lot of times it directly comes from the patients who call for our services, and then we walk through the steps and get everything where it needs to be. So we try to make it as least scary and as much supportive as we can.